This is TWiT.
Companies are throwing more money at security, whether you're talking about the technology or the engineering or the integration across the board. They're spending more, but their satisfaction with the results of that spending, that needle's not moving, or if it is, it may be going down slightly. Do you think that we could be due for some sort of economic correction where, next year all of a sudden they say, hey, we spent all this extra money and I don't feel warm and fuzzy about what happened, so let's cut back on our security spend, which seems like a bad result, but is that one of the things that you are concerned that might be a company corporate response in the future?
Well, I think as you see some of these companies, they're starting to source out some of the management of the detection and response, to give them more effective use of the services that they actually are purchasing from companies like ours. And I think that's a good thing. Getting we do have a talent gap in this industry, and so it does help to actually go out there and try to get some managed detection response and actually be able to action on some of that intelligence that's coming in and some of the hits that are coming in, and allowing us to actually better understand what's actually happening in their actual infrastructure and in their network.
And kind of piggyback on what you said as well, like 2020 for us was our busiest year for buying bugs. We bought more bugs in 2020 than we ever had. And I think that's part of the problem too, is yes, they're spending more money. Yes, enterprises are investing more in security, but everyone else on the offensive side, on the security research side, they're investing more as well. And I think right now they're outpacing the defenders. There's so many security researchers around the world. I mean, we've worked with over 5,000 independent security researchers in the 15-year lifespan of the Zero-Day Initiative, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And it's asymmetric. So the defenders are going to have some bad times if they try to keep up one for one. So like Brian said, they'll have to outsource some of their defense to maintain that level of satisfaction, or just understand that sometimes they're going to have some bad months. I want to ask what may be a trivial question based on this whole thing of trying to keep up with vulnerabilities and bugs. This week saw the reported death and rebirth of BugTrack. And for our listeners who don't know, BugTrack is a mailing list that predates the CVE system for keeping track of vulnerabilities and bugs. So I'll ask each of you guys, first of all, would you mourn the passing of BugTrack, and do you think that it has outlived its usefulness? I mean, is the CVE system now sufficiently robust to make BugTrack one of these charming relics of an earlier age?
Yeah, I look at BugTrack, and when they made the announcement that it was going to go away, I was a little bit sad because I've been watching that for a very, very long time. But I think the one challenge we have now is the amount of vulnerability research and the amount of people discovering bugs has really grown significantly over the last 15 years, especially through the ZDI program. And so we are, is a mailing list the best way to keep track of all of the vulnerabilities in the world? Probably not. I mean, I think we look at CVE, making good efforts at trying to track vulnerabilities, but there's even weaknesses in the CVE system itself, the way that they merge vulnerabilities into a single CVE, and it makes tracking of like individual CVEs challenging. It's just when you look at the actual problem of managing 20,000 plus vulnerabilities per year, it's not easy. And I think right now probably the best system we do have is the CVE system for tracking bugs.